for me but me. If you don't know who I am, guess who I am. My name is MAEVUIM.
Hey, me too, Mac. Welcome back to the MAEVUIM YouTube channel, and we're gonna do another Virgo compatibility. I got 2 left. So today, I want to talk about Virgo man, Gemini woman, which I feel like works. You know, I just made like a whole TikTok where I was like, this is underrated duo because their signs are Earth and Air, but they are ruled by the same planet, Mercury. So they share that similar source of energy, I guess, to say the least, but they differ they differ based off of the charge of being masculine and feminine, which planet basically plays each role for this dynamic. So the couples that I had from Virgo man was Tom Collins and Heidi Klum, and Jared Harris and Alegria Regito. I'm noticing it's more like a low-key couple. You know, one thing I noticed, low-key couples tend to be these Gemini Virgo couples because, I forgot to mention the last one, but I mentioned it in this one. Coco Van Gogh and light skin Keisha, they are also a Virgo Gemini. Because, as stated, they're ruled by the planet Mercury, the planet of communication, which is the #1 grounding force of what's going to keep them binding. I think the Virgo man keeps himself grounded, and the Gemini woman is somebody that can expand in her communications when things aren't being understood, where this couple and the compatibility couldn't reach common ground, to a sense. Because like Virgos, when, let's just say if there was a conflict in this relationship, right, I feel like Virgos will tend to over explain in detail of why they kept doing something over and over and over again that the Gemini didn't even understand, versus the Gemini stance would probably be, I understand, but statistically they're gonna pull whatchamacallit, they're gonna pull the numbers, the gimmicks, the trick. I said Gemini man are freaking gimmicky, because they are. And because this is like Virgo man, Gemini woman, I think kind of applies the same sense, because I feel like if this is just a little petty manner, Gemini woman can just be flirtatious because she's a good ass communicator to overstimulate the Virgo man's mind to be like, well, here's what it is. We move on. Because, you know, I noticed one thing about Virgos. You know, they can be volatile, but specifically with Virgo men, I notice if they're a guy that has a Virgo placement or is a Virgo in this compatibility, they tend to choose more passive routes in their personal relationships. Because like I said, Virgos ultimately won't get with somebody unless they're a bit of a project. Same thing with Pisces. That's why they're opposites. But practical reasoning, Virgos will be with you. You know what I'm saying? Versus a Gemini will be with you because you're mentally intriguing. Okay? That's why it's kind of hard. You know, it was easier to drop more of understanding when it came down to it being a Virgo woman and a Gemini man, because there were just so many freaking compatibility couples that I was seeing. Like, wait, she's a Virgo. Wait, he's a Gemini. And it's just one of those things where I don't feel like it's stronger in the aspect where the Virgo man is the man in the relationship and the Gemini is the Gemini woman in the relationship. Because I feel like it's just the energy roles. Because I feel like the outcomes Gemini women will look for, she will kind of expect the partner to be helpful versus of coming off like you're very helpful because you know how to nitpick little things, but more so in a sense of you're actually putting actions behind the things that you're finding. And with Geminis, it's like it's a masculine sign. So naturally, when it comes to solving problems, it comes quicker. Typically, okay, you guys can debate me on this one, but typically, fire and air signs, they're easier to find solution. Excuse me, I lied. Earth and air signs are easier to find solutions over problems because earth signs are practical. They see things directly for what it is versus air signs are more mental, you know? So either way, I just like feel like the grounding force between these two is the reason why they stay together. Probably stay together for a long time if they're actually willing to not be petty and clash averse. Sorry, little shit and little details that Gemini doesn't look over. It lasts because, like I said, in a sense, I don't really see, like, you know, Virgos are hard to pin down. Same thing with Geminis. I don't really see this compatibility, like I always call it underrated because together they're meant to solve problems. They're both mutable signs at that too. Mutable signs, we can either destroy something or really be the one to be determined to find solutions to problems faster than the others because we're able to adapt to different perspectives off of whatever little life experience is given us that could benefit people that haven't been exposed to those things. So, would you want that information? But what I'm trying to say is the grounding force of the relationship is that they're both problem solvers. Can they give each other hell in a sense together? Yeah. I feel like when the Gemini women want to move on from disagreements, to say the least. Because I'm not going to lie, Virgo ain't going to waste no time arguing with you if you're a stranger. But God forbid, like, I swear to God, God forbid you be a Virgo person's friend. Be ready to deal with somebody fucking nitpicking you all the time. And you put up with that because that's your friend. Be somebody, like, bro, be ready for somebody to be the biggest know-it-all, be the biggest detail, or like, there's pros and cons to everything, but it's like, be prepared to be irritated is what I'm saying, because they're like that itch you can't scratch, in a sense, not in a bad way, but like you need the relief, but it's like you never can reach the spot. Seriously, it's like, I never can reach the spot where I get that itch, where it's like, okay, you just leave it be, let it take over, it will go away eventually. Nah, I'm just kidding. When you find it, it's more so like, oh, okay, it's not irritating anymore because I needed to extend my perspective on things and pay attention to things subtly versus just instantly trying to, you know, find relief and gratification. That's what Virgos are like. That's why they're always so finicky because, mind you, they're the second mutable sign. So their pursuit of mending perspectives is a bit more intense, but the highest level of intensity from a mutable sign comes from Pisces, hands down. They're the last. That's why when you see during Pisces season, during March and April, the weather's fucked up any mutable sign season at that. The weather's always fucked up the worst, like, and you least expect it because one day it could be 80, the next day it could be 30 with rain and hail. That's how things switch full highly with mutable signs, and they're all similar. In the aspect. Just pay attention. Just pay attention to the weather. Right now we're in Virgo season, right? How many people died? How many things just switched up drastically when the weather is probably at its best? Like, you think that you're gonna enjoy things, these new beginnings, the fall coming in, leaves turning colors. Like, Virgo is a very beautiful season. You know, watching leaves turn colors. You know, watching things kind of ease off. Like, mind you, if you're somebody who's going back to school, you get to, like, walk in with this new refreshed mindset, thinking that everything's going to be all shit together until it's not. If you just skip over the small little facts and small little things that could cause bigger issues, things can happen instantaneously. And I feel like, in a sense, these two both understand that, but they just may not be able to communicate it in the best way possible at times where it applies the most. Because I feel like Virgos too, they have to be 1,000% safe with you to be vulnerable. And I feel like they share that similarity aspects between the Virgo man and the Gemini woman, where it's like, I'm not just gonna give this to anybody, and if it happens, it happens. But I'm gonna still protect this aspect of me. Okay, so I kind of said a lot, and I kind of hope that all these metaphors and analogies I was using to help you understand this couple and why it works. I think I'm gonna give it, either way, Virgo woman, Virgo man, I think I'll give it a 6. Like I said, there might be things one or the other does that draws the other to look at them like, don't make me pull the other side out of me, you know? But overall, I generally feel like this is a relationship where it's a strong 6 because of the similarities. But I feel like the volatileness, the mood swings between both signs can really make it clash either way. And it takes an evolved person, seriously, to be 2 mutable signs in a relationship. I swear to God. So let me know what your thoughts are. 6 out of 10. It's not the worst, but it's definitely not the best. Alright, my name is MAEVUIM. I'm a singer-songwriter, and I'm signing off in this video. Bye. Make sure you follow your girls on all social media. Bye.
Never been an option, never been a clown. Never been a voice that ever backs down. Never with the never with the crowd. Getting what you want, you better never back down. Get out my way, get out the way.